The first thing that felt off was the bag. It didn't fall the way bags usually fall. It slid. A worn leather messenger bag slipped sideways across the marble floor. It stopped at the base of a glass wall. The strap twisted like it had been pulled and released. A pen rolled out and kept going until it hit the metal trim near the elevator. No one moved to pick it up. That was when I looked up. We were on the executive floor. Same lighting as always. Same quiet. Same soft hum from the vents. Conference room B was already full behind the glass. Jackets on chairs, laptops open. A wall clock showed 9:47 a.m., 13 minutes before the meeting. The man stood where the hallway narrowed, just short of the conference room door. Black, mid-40s, simple white button-down, faded jeans, shoes scuffed, but polished enough to show care. He wasn't looking at anyone. His hands were relaxed at his sides, as if he had learned a long time ago not to make sudden movements in places like this. Patricia Williams stood directly in front of him. She didn't raise her voice. That's what made it noticeable. She used 2 fingers to lift the strap of his bag. She held it for half a second, then let it drop. The bag hit the floor. She didn't look down. "Don't leave your stuff here," she said. Not loud, not angry. Procedural. He bent slightly, reaching for the pen. Before his fingers touched it, she shifted her foot and nudged the small notebook away with the tip of her heel. The movement was neat, practiced, like adjusting a chair leg. "Don't touch anything else." Behind the glass, 8 executives sat waiting. No one stood. No one turned fully around. A few heads tilted just enough to glance at the scene, without committing to actually look. I stayed where I was, by the elevator panel. I didn't step forward. I didn't step back. The system was still running. I was inside it. Patricia positioned herself in the doorway, arms loose but wide. She was blocking the entrance without saying so. The man straightened. He didn't argue. He didn't explain. He simply said, evenly, "I have a 10 o'clock meeting scheduled in this room." She smiled once, briefly. "This floor is for people who are scheduled." That was the line. 2 people passed behind me in the corridor. One slowed, then pretended to check a message on his phone. Another adjusted her badge and kept walking without looking over. No one reacted as if they were shocked. They reacted like they were calculating risk. The clock moved to 9:48. Ethan Brooks stepped out of the elevator, jacket over his arm, coffee untouched. He took in the scene in less than a second. His eyes moved from the man's shoes to his shirt to the bag on the floor. He didn't ask a question. "Service elevators down that way," he said, pointing toward the side hall. The man didn't move. Ethan waited a beat, then placed his foot lightly on the edge of the fallen notebook. Not enough to pin it, just enough to stop it from being picked up. He removed his foot almost immediately, as if the contact itself was incidental. Patricia watched him do it. She didn't object. Somewhere behind me, a phone camera clicked on. Rachel Moore stood near the copy alcove, holding her phone low, lens angled toward the floor. She didn't speak. She didn't announce anything. The screen glowed faintly against her palm. The man reached into his jacket pocket slowly. Patricia's posture tightened. "Don't show me fake cards," she said, before anything appeared. A wallet came out. Worn leather, clean edges. When it opened, I caught a flash of black plastic with a silver edge before it closed again. Patricia turned her head away, already done with it. Behind the glass, a woman in a charcoal suit checked her watch. The door to conference room B opened a few inches. "Has anyone heard from Marcus Reed yet?" Helen Carter asked, her voice carrying just enough to reach the hallway. No one answered. The man looked at the door, then back to Patricia. He said nothing. The clock flipped to 9:49. Rachel's phone vibrated once. She steadied it. Still no commentary. Still no intervention. No one raised their voice. The bag remained on the floor. The doorway was still blocked. The meeting was still waiting. And the man everyone was treating like he didn't belong hadn't raised his voice once. Not yet. The clock stayed visible. It mattered now. 9:50 a.m. The door to conference room B closed again. Not fully, just enough to keep the sound in. Jackets shifted behind the glass. Someone tapped a pen against the table. Once, then stopped. Patricia did not move from the doorway. She adjusted her stance instead. One foot was slightly back, weight settled, as if she had decided this was no longer a moment but a position. The man remained where he was, hands still, eyes level, body square to the corridor. He did not look at the executives behind the glass. He did not look at the floor. Ethan checked his watch. "We're starting in 10 minutes, he said. Not to anyone in particular. Patricia nodded without looking at him. "This is an Apex meeting," she said. "Executives only." The words landed flat. As a policy reminder, read aloud. 2 security guards stepped off the elevator. Dark uniforms, earpieces already in. They didn't rush. They never did. One of them, Daniel Harris, scanned the hallway first, then the man, then Patricia. "What's the situation?" he asked. Patricia answered immediately. "He's refusing to leave the executive floor." She didn't say why. She didn't say how long. She didn't say what he'd done. Just the conclusion. Daniel looked at the man. "Sir, do you have any identification?" Before the man could respond, Patricia lifted a hand. "Don't bother," she said. "He's been showing fake cards." The man paused, wallet still in his hand. He closed it and slipped it back into his jacket. The movement was slow, deliberate, as if he had decided there was no point in continuing. Rachel's phone vibrated again. She adjusted her grip but kept the camera low, framing legs, shoes, and the bag still on the floor. The live stream had no commentary, just sound and time. 9:51 a.m. A woman from marketing walked past the end of the hall, slowed, then stopped altogether. She didn't approach. She leaned against the wall, eyes on her laptop screen, pretending to scroll. No one asked her to move. Daniel shifted his weight. "Sir," he said again, "we're going to need to clear this area." The man nodded once. "I have a meeting," he said. 10 o'clock. Patricia exhaled through her nose. "I don't care what story you're telling," she said. "You're not going in that room." Behind the glass, a chair scraped softly. Someone stood, then sat back down. The clock moved forward. 9:52 a.m. Ethan took a step closer, stopping just short of the man's personal space. He lowered his voice. "You don't want this to turn into something," he said. The man met his eyes for the first time. "It already has," he said. No one reacted outwardly. No raised voices. No gestures. The system absorbed the exchange and kept running. Daniel looked between Patricia and Ethan. He hesitated, just long enough to be noticed. His thumb hovered over the radio. Then he keyed his radio. "Supervisor to Conference B," he said. "We have a delay." Inside the room, heads turned toward the door again. Helen Carter opened it fully this time. "What's going on out here?" she asked. Patricia straightened. "This individual is attempting to access the meeting without authorization," she said. "I've been handling it." Helen's eyes moved to the man. She studied him for a second longer than the others had. Then she looked past him, down the corridor, as if searching for something that should already be there. "We're waiting on Marcus Reed," she said. "Has anyone—" "That's me," the man said. The hallway went quiet, not silent, quiet. No gasps, no movement, just that hush in the background, like a room holding its breath and pretending it isn't. Patricia laughed once, short, sharp. "That's not funny," she said. "Stop wasting our time." Helen did not look at Patricia. "Marcus?" she said. The man nodded. "Yes." Rachel's phone kept buzzing. She didn't look at it. Ethan's face changed, not all at once. His jaw tightened first, then his shoulders dropped, as if something heavier had settled on them. He looked at Patricia, then back at the man. "That's not possible," he said. The man did not respond. Helen stepped closer, close enough now to see the details others had ignored. The watch, the stitching on the shoes, the way he stood without shifting. The clock above the door clicked forward. 9:58 a.m. "Why didn't you say something earlier?" Patricia asked. The man's expression didn't change. "I did," he said. Daniel took a step back, creating space where there hadn't been any before. Rachel's camera caught the movement. The bag remained on the floor. The notebook remained out of reach. The doorway remained blocked. But no one was standing the same way they had been 5 minutes earlier. The system hadn't corrected itself yet. It was only beginning to register the error. The door stayed open, not wide, wide enough. Conference room B had stopped pretending the hallway wasn't part of the meeting. Chairs were no longer aligned. Laptops remained open, untouched. The clock above the glass read 10:00. Marcus stepped forward. No one blocked him. Patricia shifted to the side without being asked. It wasn't an apology. It wasn't a decision. It was a reflex, the kind that appears when the system stops backing you. Inside the room, Helen Carter gestured toward the table. "Please," she said. Marcus didn't sit right away. He placed his bag on the chair nearest the head of the table, the same bag that had been on the floor minutes earlier. He kept his eyes off it. He didn't meet Patricia's eyes. He looked at the screen at the far end of the room, where a slide deck waited, already loaded. "I'll be brief," he said. That was the only promise. He connected his laptop. The screen lit up. Numbers replaced faces. The first slide showed timelines. The second showed dependencies. The third showed risk exposure if the Apex partnership stalled. No emphasis, no commentary, just sequence. I watched Ethan take notes he hadn't planned to take. Marcus spoke again, evenly. "The delay outside was recorded," he said, "by more than one device. No one denied it. He didn't name anyone. He didn't describe what had happened. He didn't replay the footage. He left it where it was, a fact the room now had to account for. The partnership is still available," he continued, "under conditions." Helen nodded once. "Of course." The next slide appeared. Process changes, access verification, escalation checks before removal, documentation requirements before security involvement, a system that required friction before authority could act alone. Marcus let the slide sit. "This isn't corrective," he said. "It's preventative." Patricia remained standing near the door. No one asked her to sit. No one asked her to leave. The meeting moved forward. By 10:20, the financial terms were agreed to. By 10:30, the governance addendum was locked. The room found its rhythm again, but it wasn't the same rhythm it had started with. When the meeting ended, Marcus closed his laptop and stood. "I'll circulate the revised terms," he said. Helen thanked him. So did the others. Not loudly, not ceremonially. The way people thank someone when they know the gratitude isn't the point. Marcus picked up his bag. He didn't look at Patricia as he passed her. He didn't need to. In the hallway, security had repositioned. Daniel stood farther back now, hands behind him, eyes forward. The space near the door had widened. Rachel lowered her phone for the first time. No one spoke. Later, I heard that Patricia's access badge stopped working before noon. Ethan's calendar cleared itself by the end of the day, and the partnership press release went out without mentioning the delay. None of that happened in the hallway. What happened there was smaller. The bag was no longer on the floor. The doorway was no longer blocked. The clock kept moving. Marcus walked toward the elevators. I didn't follow him. I didn't need to. The system had already adjusted to his absence. As the doors closed, I realized something else had shifted. No one was asking who belonged there anymore. If this story made you pause, share it. If you've seen moments like this play out quietly, leave a comment. And if you're watching how power actually works when no one is yelling, subscribe to Black CEO Tales.